Okay, good morning, tutor. First of all, I want to apologize because my throat is still affected. Okay, I'm going to answer the question of the first part. I think that all the tips given in the video are very important to obtain a better performance during the development of the speaking test. For this reason, we must take into account each of these tips. Now, with respect to the first question, I think that the tips that I need to improve are: first, give full answers. Second, use descriptive words. Third, keep a steady pace. Fourth, explain foreign words. Okay, first, give full answers, because I am aware that many times I have the habit of giving short answers, and in this way I must try to use the best English that I know, that I have studied. Second, use descriptive words, because I often use boring words and overlay used words. I need to use more dynamic and less boring words to show that I have a better vocabulary. Third, keep a steady pace, because sometimes I speak too fast and sometimes I speak too slowly. I need to improve on the proper speed of my speech or speaking in order to be understood in a better way. Fourth, explain foreign words, because many times I do not take into account the foreign words that I use when I speak or express myself. This allows me to acquire a bad habit. For this reason, I need to improve on this tip, and I must explain the unfamiliar words. Okay, with respect to the second question, I have not been using a tip consistently, but I think the tips I have been using a little more are: be formal, be polite, speak up, and try to speak clearly. Usually when I speak to someone in English language, I try to have the best behavior and be formal. Another aspect that I try to do when I talk to others is to be polite. When I introduce myself, when I ask for something, and when I say goodbye. When I speak, I try to speak as clearly as I can, although sometimes I speak slowly and sometimes too fast. Finally, I try to speak loud to be heard, so in this way the others can hear me properly. Okay, I continue with the next question. According to the tips given in the video, I think that at this moment I could not give full answers, depending on what I have to respond during the first part of the speaking test, because in some moments nerves and lack of confidence produced me a mind block. I couldn't use descriptive words properly, because I need to stop the bad habit of using the same words. I couldn't explain some foreign words and using examples some descriptive words, because I need to enrich my vocabulary a little more. Finally, I couldn't keep a steady pace, because I consider that I need to control the speed of my speaking. Sometimes it's too slowly and sometimes it's too fast. For these reasons, I need to improve on each of these tips exposed in the video. Okay, and now I'm going to answer the question of the second part. Okay. Okay. My name is Alexander Saavedra. I am from Duitama, Boyacá. With respect to the questions about hometown. Okay. The first question. I have lived almost all the time in Duitama. Duitama is a small town located in the Boyacá department. This is a small, quiet, and pleasant city. I enjoy walking in the city because the distances are really very short between one place and another. This is a city where there is a little traffic and has some beautiful parks to visit. Also, the city is very close to some interesting and tourist towns and places to visit, such as Paipa and the Tota Lagoon. I really think that Utama is the ideal place for resting and forget the big cities. Okay, with respect to the second question, growing up in this city was and is wonderful. I remember that I enjoyed my childhood very much because I had many friends with whom we played anywhere in the city at any time. Since this city was very quiet and safe. This city is surrounded by fields. For this reason, my childhood friends and me enjoyed hiking in the fields because we swam in the rivers and collected fruits like plums, peaches, and cherries. Oh, those days were great. It was an excellent place to grow up, safe, quiet, and a lot of space to play around with my childhood friends. Okay, the questions about the studies. To the first question, I am studying Bachelor in English as a foreign language at the UNAS University. I am currently in 9th semester, and I would like to finish my studies in a appropriate way in order to be a good English teacher in elementary and high school. To the next question. When I completed all my studies, I would like to have a job as an elementary school teacher because I think that the teaching of the English language in elementary school is fundamental for our children and young people in order to acquire this foreign language in an appropriate way. Because today the English teaching in this level is very poor and neglected. For this reason, I would like to motivate the interest of our children and young people for a foreign language. Okay. The question about food. Colombian cuisine is very diverse and varies depending on the different regions of Colombia. I only know some of the most popular food dishes in my country. For example, la bandeja paisa, el ajiaco, el sancocho, las arepas, la fritanga, la lechona, los tamales, and here in my department the popular food that I know are el cuchuco de maíz, el cuchuco de trigo, la changua, la mazamorra chiquita, el ajiaco. For example, el ajiaco contains chicken, the two kinds of potatoes, corn, sour cream, capers, avocado, and huasca. Huasca is a special herb. Okay. And I'm going to answer the question about dreams. Okay. To the first question, I really don't dream much at night. I rarely have dreams. I believe that we dream when we have some kind of concern to resolve the next day or because we are anxious. To the next question, very seldom I remember my dreams, and when I do, I only remember some parts which have no meaning for me. On the other hand, I think that another factor that implies that I cannot remember my dreams with any frequency is because I often cannot sleep well, and I have read that the people who cannot sleep well have problems remembering their dreams. Okay, I continue with the next answer. In my case, when I have remembered some of my dreams, these have no meaning or logic. So I think I could not learn anything meaningful for my dreams. Although I have heard that some dreams make sense, but we can learn to interpret them. In this sense, we could learn anything from dreams. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for watching me.